So we're still looking for Marcus Phoenix. We've still not found Marcus Phoenix yet. Parts of Space Odyssey that had me incomplete, or was the bit when that ape bludgeoned? Oh yeah, one of the other apes with the club and then threw it up into the air. Then the scene switched to space. Yeah, I remember that. Towards the end of the 8-bit, and it's when they discovered how to protect themselves from other apes taking their food. But it just showed the beginnings of selfishness, you know what I mean? Like from early, how we were kind of, or people, I don't want to say people, but I guess the metaphor is that even from early, if you go say along an evolutionary standpoint, from early we were like, living in these groups and it was cool. But then as soon as somebody got a little something and somebody else wanted that little something, and then it just weren't nice. And then once somebody figured out they could have some kind of power by using something as a weapon, that becomes dominance, and it's not about helping others, it's about keeping everything for yourself. I'm not sure if there's any one bit that had me in awe specifically that I can remember, but I remember actually it kind of is actually, and it was the bit where they're traveling through, I guess, time and space. So it's after the whole thing with Hal, and he kind of gets jettisoned into space, and he's just kind of and all these colors, it's like he's moving through like these mountains and things, and the colors are changing and have these weird patterns coming on the screen. And it's just like that for the longest time, for a good few minutes, before it finally stops. And yeah, I thought that kind of just took me on a trip. That film was actually made before the moon landing, I believe. Like 2001 was actually out. When was the moon landing? Yeah, 69. So yeah, 68 would have been before, which means like they would have went into space with that movie before people went into space in real life. There's all those conspiracies about the moon landing being fake. I don't particularly believe that, but gotta admit, some of those theories are quite interesting. But yeah, I don't particularly believe it. I think in the end they went to the moon. But then again, I guess the truth is we never really know anything outside of what we're told, and we just choose which one we rather believe in the end. So yeah. Do you remember the store called Forbidden? Yes, I remember. That's still around actually. They're on Tottenham. No, they're on Shaftesbury Avenue. But yeah, they used to be on a different road. I don't remember which road it was on, but it used to be on a different road, and they moved it some years back now. But they've been on Shaftesbury Avenue for some years, for a while now. But I used to frequent that shop back in my comic book days. I used to go there and get the Spider-Man comics, and some other stuff as well. I used to go there at least sort of once a month or something like that and get a few comics. But yeah, so yeah, I do remember Forbidden Planet. It's a cool shop, even though I haven't been there for a long ass time now. They got some cool stuff in there. Yeah, manga, comics. I mean, I guess now they got a lot of the Marvel and Disney stuff as well. And pretty much anything geek. Like if you're a geek or into any kind of geeky stuff like comics, movies, video games, stuff like that. I don't think they sell video games directly, but they'll definitely sell like merchandise for video games. They might sell a few video games actually. I mean, by now they probably at least sell a few, maybe some of the old ones. But the biggest things that I remember them selling were, or the main things I remember them selling were things like comic books and any kind of comic merchandise, so like, the statues for like Doctor Doom and, that sort of thing, all the busts. They sold those, Superman, all of that. But yeah, I imagine they got a lot of anime there as well now. They probably got a lot of the manga books there as well. In fact, I think I bought a manga book from Forbidden Planet at one time. I know I definitely got quite a few comics from there back in the day. I used to get on the bus, go into town, go to Forbidden Planet, pick up a few comics, and read some on the way back. That was that was me, man, back in the day. Go to Forbidden Planet, pick up a few comics. I think I stopped going to Forbidden Planet when Marvel started doing a subscription service where you could subscribe to the comics for a year and they'll send you out each month. And so I did that, and because I was getting my comics directly from Marvel, I stopped going for Forbidden Planet, and I know it's a cool option, I guess, to get it sent to you, but I don't know. I feel like there's something about just going to a shop and being in that kind of world, and buying a physical copy. I feel like there's something that the subscription. I mean, it was by the way, it's a physical copy that's sent to you in the post. But even still, like, there's something about buying a physical copy from a shop and being in that environment. I think there's something about, and even just like the digital comics as well, as cool as they can be. And I like the digital comics. I've read a few of them, and they got some really cool features as well. I think the one good thing, or the main good thing I should say about digital comics, is that it makes it very clear which panels you're supposed to be reading first. Because in print comics, it's not always obvious which panel, or which speech bubble rather, which speech bubble you're supposed to read first. Sometimes it looks like it's supposed to be that one first, but it's actually supposed to be this one first. It's not always obvious. Whereas with the digital comics, it's a bit more clearer because they guide you which ones you're reading as you're reading it along. But even still, I still like, there's something about, it's like, we were talking about the other day about Kindle versus physical books. It's like, Kindle's cool, it's convenient, it's cool, but there's just something about just having a book. And speaking of apes, by the way, one of my favorite things I used to do back in the day actually is go to HMV. There's a big HMV in Oxford Street, and they had a DVD section for, well, I mean, a DVD section, duh. They had a martial arts DVD section, and they would just sell loads of martial arts DVDs, right? And they were pretty cheap. Well, I say cheap. They were at $5.99, so not like dirt cheap, but they were cheap enough to buy, without worrying about if it's a good movie. You know what I mean? So one of my favorite things to do back in the day, I'll go to the HMV in Oxford Street, and I'll go to the martial arts section, and I'll just be picking out these random DVDs for martial arts movies. A lot of them I've never heard of, right? But it looked cool, right? So I had a cool title, so I'll pick it up, and then I'll buy that, and then I definitely ended up buying a lot of crap for sure, but I got some real good ones as well. Definitely got some real good gems in there. And then once you got a good one, then maybe the next time I go, I'll be like, oh, this guy was in this movie that I liked, so I could buy that, or it's got the same director or choreographer, so maybe I'll buy that. So it became this thing where I kind of picked out these martial arts movies, and end up buying, I don't even know how many. I'm sure most of them I don't think I even have anymore. But yeah, I end up buying loads of these martial arts movies from HMV, and just buying stuff like I said, most of them I never heard of, and I just picked up out, watch them. A lot were crap, but there were definitely some good ones I got as well. So it was a cool thing to do back in the day. My favorite martial arts movie is called Born Invincible. Born Invincible. Have I seen that? I don't think I've seen that. No, I don't think I've seen it. But yeah, it would have been amongst. It would have been the type of thing that I would have been looking at that time. But I don't think I've seen this one specifically. Master Lu Ping's daughter Yin Yin trains for 3 years to avenge his death. Of course, of course. Of course, that was a plot like of every martial arts movie back in the day. The master gets killed and the student avenges his death. That was like every martial arts movie had that basic plot. You kill my master! You kill my master! But yeah, I went for a period of time I was watching a lot of movies from China, Japan, a few from Korea, but mostly China and Japan. And yeah, a lot of martial arts movies was in that, and definitely saw some masterpieces during that time as well, like Akira Kurosawa films from old school Japan filmmaker, like 50s, 60s, that era. So have I seen The Seventh Samurai? Have I seen The Seventh Samurai? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to sort out my DVDs at one point. But yes, I have seen The Seventh Samurai. It is an amazing film. It is incredible. I found these two, Kagemusha and Ran. Ran, I think I would say, is my favorite Kurosawa movie. But yeah, I've seen Seven Samurai. I'm sure I have it on DVD somewhere. I need to sort out my DVDs, man. They're just a mess right now, to be honest with you. My DVDs are a mess. But yeah, Seven Samurai is incredible. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes and not a single frame wasted. Iron Monkey, yeah, I think I've seen Iron Monkey actually. This is an old school one. Iron Monkey is old school. I'm pretty sure I've seen that though. Donnie Yen. Oh wait, no, I don't think I've seen it actually. My bad. But yeah, I know Donnie Yen. I know Donnie Yen. You know what I like about Kurosawa movies, and I think this is especially with Seven Samurai, is that you can literally pause that movie at any random time and you will have a print-worthy frame. You know, something that you can print and use as a poster and something. Like any moment you pause that movie, it's like it's nothing but like these carefully filmed shots where there's so much intricacy put into where people stand, how people move, where the direction they're facing. I mean, you can literally, like, I am not exaggerating when I say this. You can pause it at any random time, and you will have a frame that is worthy of being printed and used as some kind of as a poster or something like that. You know, it's just the level of detail that goes into the art in each frame and each scene. It's incredible, like it really is. And the fact that this movie is like over 3 hours long, and it does not waste time, you know, it does not waste a single second. Like from the jump, from the moment it opens, it is started. You know, I was talking about Prey earlier and how Prey kind of felt like it dragged on for quite a bit, and that's only an hour 40. Seven Samurai is like 3 hours 15 minutes, and from the jump it just gets going, and then it has this story that it unveils over over the time. But yeah, I remember sitting down and watching that movie and feeling like, did 3 hours really just go by? Like it just keeps it moving. And that is something that, I mean, I know a lot of filmmakers reference Kurosawa and talk about him as a great filmmaker. I'm not sure many filmmakers been able to make films like that, where you can just have a film just jump, get going from a jump, and just keep you interested over the next 2, 3, 4, however many hours. But yeah, it's incredible, man. That film is amazing. I love how that movie is shot. For real, man. For real. But he did a lot of great movies. Seven Samurai, Sanjuro, Yojimbo. Yojimbo was remade as A Fistful of Dollars or something like that. Or A Fistful of Dollars, or For a Few Dollars More. One of the spaghetti western movies that Sergio Leone directed. What else did he do? Redbeard, Throne of Blood, another incredible film. Man, I've got so many. I know I have them somewhere. I've got quite a. Bro, I need to sort my DVDs because I've got quite a few Kurosawa movies on DVD. I know I do. I've got Seven Samurai. I know I've got Throne of Blood. I'm pretty sure I've got a few others I can't remember right now, but I've got quite a few of his movies on DVD, and I need to sort that crap out, man. It's a mess. It's a mess. Not that I watch movies on DVD these days anyway. I pretty much watch stuff streaming, almost exclusively watch stuff on streaming. Like if I wanted to watch Seven Samurai again, I'd probably just buy it on Amazon or something, and watch it through stream. It's just more convenient. It's just more convenient. But yeah, I need to sort out my DVDs, man. One of these days, which probably means never. But never say never. But anyway.